I get the hype now. I get the hype behind the R6. I finally did it. I got an R6. This is my first ever R6. I've sat on them. I have had friends that have ridden them, owned them, whatnot, but I have never actually ridden one, nor have I actually owned one. So this is going to be my first experience, and I wanted to film it. I did have to ride it here, so I have a little bit from that little ride here, but I did really enjoy that little bit. I didn't do any turns or anything like that, but that's what we're doing in this video. We are going to go on a semi-curvy road, nothing too insane. I'm not going to be dragging my knees or anything. You can see I'm in just regular, everyday wear, not even protective safety gear, so I am going to be safe. And I mean, I just bought this bike, so I don't really know tip-top shape. So this is a 2006 R6 with 25,000 miles. The valves have been done though, so it should be okay. But I'm pretty sure the camera is shaking all over the place because the weather today is horrible. It is about to rain, so we do have to hurry up. But yeah, there's a lot of wind right now, so that's why the camera might be a little unstable. So this is it. It's the anniversary edition, and this is my favorite colorway for any R1 any R1, R6, whatever. I love the yellow. I've been wanting to get it was a 2015. I think it was 2015. I think 2015. If it wasn't 2015, then 2016. But the anniversary edition in yellow and all that. I just think this color looks so good, and I've always wanted to own a yellow bike. So here we are. But there's a little bit of damage. The original owner, I don't know if it was the previous owner to me or like the one that actually bought it, downed it, and there's a crack in the fairings. You can kind of see it here. And there's also some damage along the sides. I will do a little close-up. There's a little break in the fairing, and then I guess they tried to paint it. Does not look good at all, but yeah, there's that little crack in this little, I don't know if you want to call them winglets, because they're not really winglets, but it's on the side. There's a crack there. There, some scrapes here and there with a cheap Amazon exhaust. I don't really care. I'm going to beat the hell out of this bike for as long as I have it. It's a 2006 R6. I couldn't expect too much. And you can also tell that the paint is a little bit faded. This is not as vibrant as the yellow is supposed to be. So I guess it's been sitting out in the sun. I don't know. It doesn't really matter to me, though, because it runs. It feels pretty smooth from what I have done so far. And I'm excited to just get in the turns and just... We got to beat the weather, so we do got to get going here soon. But yeah, this is my brand new 2006 R6. I'm probably going to take this one to the track if I decide it's healthy enough to take the track. And there's also, it might be lowered. I don't really remember what it's supposed to look like for stock height, but yeah, if I do go to the track, I want to fix that. But it's pretty cool. It is really clean, honestly, for the year and the mileage. Apart from like the sun damage and the crack, it's not bad. Zero gravity, what is it called? Double bubble, I think that is. Mirror block off. There's no mirrors on this bike, so I got to do something about that. Vortex levers, they're pretty nice. There's nothing wrong with the dash. I just have that there for privacy. And there's a little bit of, damage to the triple tree, but nothing too bad. Nothing I can't deal with. It looks like it's got a fresh set of tires on there. Dunlop, maybe Q5s. Let's hope. Oh my God, these are my favorite tires. If you ask me what tires you should get for your bike, it's right here. Dunlop Q5S. A soft side, and then they got a harder center compound or whatever. I mean, I don't really know the terms. All I know is harder in the middle, softer on the sides. So you get longer longevity out of the tire. You still get a lot of grip in the turns and stuff. This is awesome. I didn't even realize it came with those. Let's see. Yep. Q5S. We got a matching set of Q5S. That is literally the go-to tires. Man, I guess I can go hard in the turns. Because I know these tires and I'm confident with these tires. As long as it doesn't rain, we'll be all right. I got to do this fast because the wind is getting questionable and I don't want my $500 Ace Pro 2 camera to slam into the ground. So this is what it sounds like. All right, I think it's time. Let's go for a ride. It is definitely about to rain, so we gotta be quick. I'm just happy. I'm really happy that I saw that there's Q5S tires on here, because that's what I would have put on here and I don't need to. They're brand new, and Q5S tires, they're kind of pricey. They're not too pricey, but they're more than your average level tires. But it's definitely worth it if you ask me. I've taken them to the track. They're not even track tires, but I've taken them to the track and they just held up amazing. It was on my CBR my CBR 1000 SP1. I'll insert a picture here of me dragging knee. Oh, this bike feels so good. I haven't even gotten to play around with it yet. Oh my god, that looks like there could be nails in there. Alright, please don't rain, please don't rain. Yep, it's basically just a ZX6R, but way more expensive. Actually, I take that back because the market's really weird right now. Everyone wants stupid money for a ZX6R. Like 2021s, they want 10K. When a couple months ago, you could get them for less than 8 if you were lucky. But even if you weren't lucky, you were pretty close to 8, maybe 9. And I'm talking the new ones, but the older ones, they're still, almost any of them are going for 6, which is kind of crazy. R6s are the same, but the newer R6s is a completely different level. People want $12,000 to $13,000 for those things. Nah, that is crazy. They're sexy and they're fun. I understand it 100%. I still wouldn't pay that. That's why I got myself a 2006. I feel like I fit this bike really well. Like, my legs are perfectly in the little, like, I'll call it a cubby. But it's perfect. And it's actually a lot smaller than I thought too. You're a little bit more cramped up, but luckily I'm not super tall. No gear indicator does mess me up though. Sounds so good even with that cheap Amazon exhaust on there. Oh, and the battery on my camera's about to die, so we really do have to be quick. I might get one lap in. I'm not used to having this much RPM, so I'm probably going to shift a little bit early because I'm not used to this bike. This is my first ride. Except for like testing the bike out when I bought it, this is my first joy ride, but I wanted to film it for you guys. I'm excited. Ooh, that back tire though feels like ice. You cannot really tell when it's locked up. Traffic's gonna stop me from playing around. It's alright. But that felt amazing! Holy s***! Sorry, I don't want to die, so I don't express myself while I'm in it. But holy shit, dude, that was awesome! Well, I'm in love. I am in love. Oh my god. If I knew how good this bike felt, I never would have told my friend Kyle on 2 to get rid of his. Okay, that's not true because his bike was actually beat to hell and it was gonna kill him, so he needed to get rid of it. But I understand why it was so hard for him to let go of it because this thing is amazing. It's so smooth. It's really, really similar to ZX6Rs, and I've owned, how many at this point? Four ZX6Rs? I've never ridden a R6 before, so this is my first taste of this, but they feel incredibly similar. Nothing like abusing a bike you bought yesterday and not even checking the oil. She is a monster, absolute monster. Woo! Bro, this bike makes me feel insane. I would have been in like second gear on the Aprilia in that area. This was, oh, okay. That's a warning. I'm gonna take that as a verbal warning. He didn't even have to pull me over. Just passing me. This bike is a gift from God, bro. I'm so happy I drove to go get this thing. I think I'm gonna put some track time on this bike. It definitely might happen. It's already got damage, so it's not much to worry about damaging these. I wouldn't call them rare, but a little bit harder to find anniversary edition fairings, but I don't see why I shouldn't. There's no torque, but I think that's the appeal, is just being max out on the RPM 24/7 with these bikes. I kind of get it. So I guess I should say why I haven't gotten an R6 yet. Either I didn't have the money at the time, I bought something else, or people just wanted way too much for them. Like, way too much. I talked about that earlier, but I mean, I'm not gonna pay. I mean, I've seen people want $7,000 for this bike right here, and I would never pay that, and I don't think anyone should. Yeah, I said earlier how the rear brake is like ice. I went to like do an emergency brake because I was about to miss a turn and there was no cars around me, and I almost was sideways, and I wasn't even like, I didn't even feel it. By the time I realized that my bike was near sideways, it was too late. But I didn't crash. I guess it's not too late, but I saved it. Oh, I need gas. Why does the gas light always come on when I film? So I kind of have to play it safe on this. I may or may not have just felt a raindrop too. Yeah, this bike is so playful. Like, I don't see why I would choose my Aprilia over this. No, that's a joke. I've drugged knee on the Aprilia, and it's fun and all, but it still just feels like you're never fully using that bike. And that's why I've always been chasing, trying to make sure I had like an R6 or a ZS6R, CBR 600, something, just a 600 as my second bike. So I could feel like I'm using the entire bike. Like, I definitely felt like I was up there in the RPMs back there, but I'm sure there's a lot more that I can use out of this bike. But still, it feels like I'm using more out of this bike than I could ever out of my Aprilia, at least in my area. If I take my Aprilia to the Tail of the Dragon, well, actually maybe not, that might just be a third gear kind of thing as well. But if I take it somewhere where there's longer sweeping turns and I can really be through the gears and all that stuff, I'm sure I would like it a lot more and I could accept it as my only bike. But not in this situation. I gotta have something like this beautiful little thing right here. This thing is awesome. Gotta be careful with this turn. It sneaks up on you quick. Kind of sharp. That F-150 kind of looked like my boss. I don't know if it was. Hopefully not. bike makes you feel like you're going a million miles per hour. And I'm here for it. Here we go. I think it should be illegal for people to be able to drive Ford Explorers. It's not okay to play with my feelings like this. It's probably way too soon to say this, but this might be my most favorite bike I've ever bought. Yeah, it's definitely way too soon because I love my Aprilia so much, but for a first ride, this is the most fun I've ever had on a first ride. Why are there so many Ford Explorers out right now? Killing my vibe. Killing my vibe. There should be a gas station right here. Never been to it, but I believe there is one. Yeah, that's again. Oh my god, I almost waved to a scooter. Okay. Let's get some gas in this girl. That was an absolutely insane first experience. This bike is amazing. Get this thing turned around and set up, and we'll close out on this video. We're back inside, all settled down. It kind of sucks that my camera died because I had a little bit more to show you out there in the route, but it is what it is. This bike is awesome, absolutely amazing. That ride was comparable to how much fun I had my first ride ever on the Aprilia, right after I broke my leg and everything. It was like 6 months before I got on that bike because I had a broken leg, so I hadn't been on any bike for 6 months, and it was my first time riding that, so that felt insane. I don't think anything can feel as insane as that first ride, but this was amazing. I will definitely try to keep an R6 in my life, probably this one if I can. Damn, I get the hype. I get why everyone was so depressed when they discontinued the R6s. This bike handles like a dream. I had a 2013 R3 and I thought that was the best handling bike that I've ever owned. But this feels almost exactly like that. Now, it doesn't feel nearly as fast or nearly as torquey, but it feels really easy to ride and is confident or it makes you confident in the corners. Don't shy away from this bike as long as you know how to use brakes with no ABS. Only keep that in mind because you might want a ZX6R for the ABS, but it's a great bike. I did get home, checked the oil. The oil's all good. It still runs good, even after I just abused it. I didn't delete the chicken strips yet, but I did say that was going to be a relaxed ride. Got my suit on the wall over there, so we might take this girl to the ringer soon. Woo! I am officially an R6 owner and fan. This was a treat. And it's my favorite colorway. I wanted this exact colorway. I've been hunting it. I finally got my claws into one, and here we go. Here we go. And the first experience was phenomenal. Because of this ride, I can confidently say if you're in between an R6 and a ZX6R, you can go with either. Honestly, you got to go and ride them. There's not really much of a difference between the two except the style of them. I mean, I don't see a downside to either. The R6 is obviously a lot more popular, but they're also discontinued, so it's a little bit more expensive to own. Or not own, but to buy. And the ZX6Rs, they're everywhere. It's a saturated bike. Everyone's getting ZX6Rs nowadays, but there's a reason for that. They're really good bikes, and same as this. So, if you can find yourself one of these, you gotta hop on the deal. This one has 25,000 miles, and it feels amazing right now. So, the miles, they might not matter with a bike like this, especially because they're supposed to be reliable. Knock on wood. Hopefully, I can bring this bike around. I am supposed to be going to New York later this year, and I would love to bring this bike, but if it's not this bike, it's going to be a ZX6R or another R6 or something of that matter. Well, that's pretty much all I have for this video. I love this R6. You should get an R6. Definitely consider an R6. Get an R6. All right, well, thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.